to the interview.
Fast and Furious.
That's proper, having nitrous in a plane. I'd never even heard of it. Well, like, that's quite heavy.
Yeah, but the bottle was also in the back. That was further enhancement to the center of gravity.
Well, speaking of nitrous and cars and everything involved in that, you once raced your plane against Ben Collins in an F1 car. Can you tell us how this came about and who won the race? Was it the plane or the car?
Yeah, so we raced the BMW Sauber against my H540 at one of the air shows in Poland. Stig was the driver.
You have one new message.
Hey friend, it's Hayato from the pack. What's up? Tell me, how would you like to go for another spin made in Japan? There's a lot happening and we're getting the whole team together. We'll be hanging out south of Kaneohe. Meet us there.
Come on, we're gonna kick some butt.
Hey, stop yelling!
I really kicked his ass.
Perfect. Love it.
After 2 laps, I had to go at idle to try to make it look like we finished close, but yeah, I won it, and I won it with a big margin.
Are there any other memorable stunts that we should know about? And how do these help you become a better competitor? I mean, we've all seen the bullseye stunt because that was just unbelievable. But is there any other ones that sort of stick out in your mind as that was a good day at work?
Yeah, for sure. I think my first big project for Red Bull was flying under the bridges in Warsaw. Me and the Czech pilot Martin Sonka, we flew under 3 bridges in Poland trying to paint the Polish flag on the Polish National Flag Day. And then I landed on the historic wooden pier in Sopot in one of the Polish famous cities, and that was the project that gave me idea for the bullseye landing later. I also had some fun flying with some of our skydivers, like Game of Air with Maja Kuczynska, where I was chasing a skydiver with my plane, flying around her.
Casual.
Yeah, another day at work,
It's another day in the office.
And I have to say it's the best office view you can get, even when I fly the big commercial plane.
We're going to talk about dream vehicles right now. Everybody's got a dream vehicle. Today is your lucky day, Luke. You've been given a ticket to test fly any type of aircraft that your heart desires. Which model would you choose and where would you take it?
I would go for a classic. Like for a lot of car lovers, they would go for a 1960s Mustang or a Bullitt Charger. I would go for a Mustang as well, but it's a P-51 Mustang. It's an American-built fighter from the Second World War, and the aircraft is absolutely incredible. It's fast, it looks very good. For those of you who watched the latest Top Gun movie with Tom Cruise, that's the plane, the silver plane that he was cleaning in his hangar, and I know he's got one, and I hope that's a plane that I will fly one day.
I feel like an old Mustang like that would sound absolutely unbelievable. Like when I think of vintage cars, what I love about it is the smell, is the sound, these sort of big displacement engines with straight through exhaust. Are we talking the same language here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a V12 engine.
Wow.
I don't know the capacity from my head, but that must be like 20 something liters capacity there. You're operating at 1000 horsepower plus, and straight out exhaust. When it starts up, you can see the flames coming out of the exhaust manifold, and the sound is absolutely incredible.
Aside from planes, what are some of the other memorable vehicles that you've tried or seen or even thought, I really want one of those?
Oh God, there's so many.
So I know that's such a hard question. It's just I don't know, Becky. There's 50 that I've seen over the years.
I love I'm a very competitive person, so whatever you put me in, I'll do my best to win it. Like go-karts, don't get me even started in go-karts, because I'll be right there running into everyone just to win the race. And I think I'd love to be a race car driver, compete in racing cars, and Formula One would be fun to drive. I would love to drive one of those, and I'd go for Formula One.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love the fact that we're actually really similar in a sense that car people and aeroplane people still like the old stuff. We're like the new all carbon, super slick, like that's great. But where our heart really lies is in the old school, in the big V12, V16s, V10. Like that's me. V8s, V10s, all of the old school stuff. So I'm delighted that there is that crossover between different sports, but the same feeling, right?
Absolutely. You know, the sound of the old V8s, V12s makes you so sentimental. I don't know. It makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up when I hear one of those.
You know, sometimes they would do like an air show where I think it was the old school bombers that would come, like the Spitfires, would come down over the drag racing track when I was a kid. So I grew up around drag racing, and the planes would come over the track. I actually got emotional. I'm not quite sure why. When you see big planes like that when they're flying, and like the noise and the feeling in your chest, it makes you emotional, and I'm not entirely sure why. And that's from somebody who's like a casual consumer of airplanes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why they still fly. It's thanks to people like us who love them and who love the sound of them, and will go and pay for the ticket to the airshow to see them. That's what keeps them flying. And you know, they are 1940s, 1950s aircraft, and there's still quite few of them maintained by very passionate people for everyone else to enjoy. And we've got to be really thankful for that, and hope they will fly another 70 years.
Right, I'm going to jump into some rapid fire questions with you, Luke. And I want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So flying by day versus flying by night.
Day.
Favorite weather conditions?
Cumulus cloud. Just
Takeoff or landing?
take off.
Do you sometimes talk to your planes?
Oh yeah, always. After each flight, of course the small planes. I don't talk to the Airbus too much, but after each flight in the edge or the carbon cap, when I put it back in the hangar, I will go and stroke it and thank it for a nice flight. And yeah, it's a very personal relationship that I have with all three planes I have.
I love that. In terms of runways, which do you prefer and why? Concrete, asphalt, grass, or sand?
Last week was first time I landed on sand in Huntington Beach, and that was a lot of fun to land on the beach. But I would say concrete, it's pretty cool because you know, for the racer on the small wheels, it's the smoothest, and yeah, it doesn't hurt the plane a lot.
Favorite music tracks or artists that you like to listen to while you're training, competing, and chilling?
I think Korn for the hardcore stuff, like
that was
training.
Unexpected.
Yeah, some old heavy metal, but for chilling, sometimes I do like to listen to classical music.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Luke. Do you know what? It's been a real insight. I've never spoken to a pilot before, and I feel like you've put my fear of flying a
Well, you've heard your friends. You're going back to Japan. Sort of.
little bit
Prepare to face new challenges and explore new horizons.
to rest there. It's amazing that you've got such a passion for old vehicles. You know, I think whatever sport you're in, you always look to what was, which is what creates what is, and I love that we can connect on that. So thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure, and you need to take me up on the offer of flying together, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Okay, do you know what? We'll do that. I'll come and fly with you, and I'll take you out in my S50. She's a great girl. But we'll 4 wheels on the ground for me, and we'll be 4 wheels in the air for you.
That's a deal.
That's it for today's episode of MOTORFEST, the podcast. I'm Becky Evans. You can find me on all podcast platforms, but you can also just check out YouTube. Just type in my name and you'll find me. So make sure that you get yourself on the game, The Crew MOTORFEST from Ubisoft, and we'll see you guys on the next episode super soon.
I would say I use like a jet, you know, like you can see the fire from the exhausts, like full time. We risk our life, but it is what it is, you know, like, and hopefully you get a good machines. I want to have like proper missile and
Japan Volume 2 is here. No spoilers, just jump in.
The podcast continues.
Your friends from the pack are really close. Go join them. They'll fill you in on the situation.
Missile, and how do you say, the minigun.
Yeah, the one with the Tommy gun with the...
Yeah, that one, yeah. And oil league weapon,
Yeah,
something like that.
perfect.
Defense.
Mad Max style, love
Yeah.
it. What's happening, guys? My name is Becky Evans and welcome to MOTORFEST, the podcast, brought to you by Red Bull and Ubisoft's iconic game, The Crew MOTORFEST. This is the podcast where I get to chat with some of the world's leading motorsport athletes and delve into their passions for all things speed, wings and wheels. And the really cool thing is, you can actually listen into this podcast whilst you're playing the game. Today's guest was born with some serious athlete instincts. I'd be very surprised if you hadn't seen or heard of him. His name is YUKI TSUNODA, and what he's most famous for is his electrifying talent on the F1 grid. He's been racing for about 20 years. Well, that's if you also include his career as a kid go-karter, growing up in Sagamihara, about an hour away from Tokyo. He lives in Italy currently, but he's joining me today here in Milton Keynes. Yuki, thanks so much for being here and welcome to the show. How are you?
Amazing. Just in the UK. Just flew back from Brazil. Yeah, just had a bit of 2 weeks gap, so excited for a bit of rest now.
So let's jump straight into it, Yuki. You've been described as a person who lights up a room when you walk into it. You're someone who knows exactly what you want, and you're unashamed and unafraid to express it. And in terms of your identity as a driver, you're known for quite a modern driving style. Could you break down what you feel your driving style is for us watching you on the screen?
My driving style, mainly, I have good confidence with the braking, so I'm good at attacking the braking, so you can use that also in the 1 lap qualifying lap, hot lap, and also to overtake someone. I think this is coming from the karting skills when I was very, very young, like I was 13, 20, and 12 years old or whatever. My dad used to teach me a lot about braking, and that kind of base or DNA still inside my driving skill. And definitely I like to attack braking. Recently, last Grand Prix was a bit too much sometimes, and yeah, unfortunately a couple of times went to the wall, but still have good confidence, and feels great when you feel the G-force, with the maximum longitudinal G-force when you have nailed the great braking.
How do you feel that you have evolved as a driver over these years? Obviously starting in go-karting and then to present day.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things. I mean, when I was karting, there were a lot of emotional things that probably, as a human, I was growing significantly, fast, and especially those times. And at some point, I even didn't like much motorsports. I got distracted by other sports. I'm the person, like, I want to try a lot of sports. I'm very active. So I tried like downhill mountain biking, swimming, a lot of kind of stuff, skateboarding, for example. And I knew somewhere in my mind that motorsport is the things that probably I'm very good at. And I started 4 years old, and there's always strong passion inside my heart. So it's kind of went through it, those moments, and evolved throughout the years. And especially compared to first day Formula 1 was 2021, and compared now, it's a lot different. Even that 4 years, this kind of environment makes my mindset as very strong as a human. Not just inside of racing, also outside of racing. I feel just in general place I feel grown.
That explains so much. When I watched you on that Red Bull series where it was you trying different sports, you absolutely shone, because it was just like getting to do other things, and you were so happy and excited.
Serious race series, I think that goes. I know you try to race with the vehicle that you don't normally race with, and like adaptation to that is quite key, and probably because of us doing a lot of sports, you get used to it with adapting to some sports immediately. So yeah, probably that's why I'm good at it. And also the moments I feel a lot of adrenaline, like, oh, I have to go flat out. I go flat out from straight away from the once I hold the steering and see how it goes. And those kind of moments that really get excited.
Yuki, I feel like you'd make a great drift driver.